Welcome to your next best step. I'm Coach Janet J. And today we are talking about why making something, anything at all, might be one of the most underrated things you can do for your well being. Grab your coffee, tea, or water. This one is light, fun, and a little surprising. There is a saying that has stuck with me for years: Earth without art is just eh. And the first time I heard it, I smiled and nodded. And then I could not stop thinking about it because it's true. Something about creating, even something small, even something no one else will ever see, changes the way a day feels. And it turns out science agrees. Researchers found that just 45 minutes of making something, anything, lowered stress hormones in 75% of participants. And here's what got me. It didn't matter whether they had any previous artistic experience. I want to be upfront. I have never considered myself a visual artist. I used to joke that I could not draw you a picture. I could write you a song or a poem about it instead. When I was teaching, my pre-K and kindergarten students had to be little geniuses because while they were learning to write, they had to learn to decode my drawings first. And that became an inside joke with almost all of my classes, which, looking back, might have been one of the best things that could have happened because those students realized their own drawings did not have to be gallery ready or perfect either. Creating can look like 100 different things. Cook a meal where you add spices without a recipe. Rearrange the books on your shelf by color. Hum a melody while you fold laundry. Take a photo of the way the light hits your kitchen counter in the morning. Plant something. Write 4 sentences about your day. Arrange flowers, even if they came from the grocery store. Creating is the act of making something where there was nothing. And when you think about it, that instinct is woven into who we are. Exodus 35:31 through 32 tells us that God filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and with all kinds of skills to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze. That is describing a craftsman named Bezalel, the person God chose to help build the tabernacle. And what strikes me is God did not just give him one skill. He gave him wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and creative ability. God treated the capacity to create as a gift worth giving, not as a luxury, not as a nice to have, a gift from his spirit. And of course, God himself is the original creator. The very first thing scripture tells us about God is that he created. Before he delivered, before he judged, before he redeemed, he made something beautiful. The research on creativity and well-being is stronger than most people realize. In 2016, Dr. Garia Kamil at Drexel University measured cortisol levels in 39 adults before and after 45 minutes of art making. The participants used collage materials, modeling clay, and markers. 75% showed significantly lower cortisol afterward, and prior art experience made no difference. People with no background in art got the same stress reduction as those who had been creating for years. A pilot study from the same university, published in the Journal of Art Therapy in 2023, looked specifically at postmenopausal women. The participants engaged in a combination of creative art therapies, including art making, movement, and writing, and the results showed improvements in quality of life, self-efficacy, stress levels, anxiety, and body image. It was a small study, and the researchers are expanding it with a larger trial, and the direction is consistent with the broader research. And here's something that may surprise you. A large international study published in Nature Communications in 2025 found that regular creative engagement across music, dance, and visual arts was associated with brains that looked measurably younger. The more sustained the creative practice, the greater the delay in brain aging. This was not a small study. They examined brain data from over 1,200 participants across 13 countries. I know what some of you are thinking right now. Janet, I used to be creative. I used to sing. I used to garden. I used to write. I used to build things. And then life happened. Kids happened. Caregiving happened. Work happened. And the creative parts of you got tucked into a drawer somewhere. That part of you is still in there. You set it aside because other things needed your attention, and that is understandable. What I want you to hear now is picking it back up is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. And you don't need to be good at it. The research says cortisol drops when you are making something. Anything. Gallery quality work is completely beside the point. The act itself is what does it. And your brain at midlife, it is actually wired for this. Midlife brains are exceptionally good at making connections and recognizing patterns, which is exactly what creativity draws upon. This is a season where your brain is finally optimized for creative expression. And this is one of those topics that touches every pillar of health. Emotionally, creating gives you a way to process what you are feeling without having to name it or explain it. Sometimes a doodle says what words cannot. Spiritually, when you create, you reflect the image of a God who creates. There is something sacred about making something new, even if it's just rearranging your bookshelf. Mentally, creative engagement strengthens neural connections, improves pattern recognition, and the 2025 Nature Communications Study suggests it may even slow cognitive aging. Physically, lower cortisol means lower inflammation, better sleep quality, and a calmer nervous system. Your body responds to creative expression even when your conscious mind is just having fun. So here is your next best step. Before the day is over, make something. And before you start, finish this sentence out loud or on paper. I used to love blank, whatever fills that blank. Even if you have not touched it in 20 years, that is your invitation. It can be messy. It can be quick. It just needs to be made. 45 minutes of making something lowered stress hormones in 75% of people. No experience required. God himself treated creative ability as a gift worth giving, filled by his spirit. Your midlife brain is wired to make connections that younger brains cannot. The act of creating in any form touches your emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical health. Earth without art really is just So go ahead and make something today. On Monday, we're talking about something most of us do on a regular basis, canceling plans, and why science says going anyway might be worth it. Follow or subscribe wherever you are listening or watching so that you don't miss an episode. And if you have a moment, a rating or review makes a real difference. It helps other women find this show, and I am truly grateful for you. So let's go and take your next best step.